As somebody who's been in this business for a very long time, even 6 years ago, I had to explain what live streaming was if I was having a normal, dinner conversation. That has radically changed, right? It's become probably one of the hottest topics on the face of the earth.
Hmm.
As a result, we've seen hundreds of millions of venture dollars flow into the space. And, I've had, executives at major talent agencies tell me there are between 1 and 200 companies providing just live stream music pay-per-view capabilities, which is, that's completely mind blowing in general. And unfortunately, my perspective is to do this at scale, it's not easy. And I don't think you learn how to do that in 90 days or 4 months or 5 months. And a lot of thinking and a lot of nuances have to go into pulling off not just a performance. It could be a product launch, movie premiere, something that's got a large audience. There's a lot happening in terms of redundancy and stress on the networks, et cetera. And we've seen that. I think we've seen major music experiences have significant challenges. A few didn't even make it to the air. And that's a noteworthy problem. Further to that, a lot of these companies were doing these shows as on demand. They were pre-recording and shooting the artists, and editing. They're putting them in a music performance in an abandoned castle or an atrium or a mansion, which is great. But the reality is, the audience wants that live performance, and a lot of these companies, I think, are going to struggle when they go back into a venue in a room where you have to be cognizant of now your client's also the promoter, and the promoter's obligation is to the ticket buyers that have come and bought tickets that are physically in the room. So you've got things like seat kills to contemplate, where you can put your cameras, how you're going to run cable, what is the internet connectivity of that venue. If you're going to use the borrowed internet that everybody in the room is on with their Wi-Fi, that's another challenge and problem. So a lot of these problems I don't think are going to go away. And I think the newer companies need to contemplate and really focus and double down on things like redundancy and, running a primary and a backup encoder, a primary transmission path and a backup transmission path. And also, if you're going to sell tickets, it's the inverse of the traditional world. If someone goes on sale, a tour goes on sale, well, it's a popular artist or even, a tour of some kind. Everyone's going to rush and they're going to buy those tickets because they want a good ticket for that performance. In the digital virtual live streaming world, it's different. No matter when you buy your ticket, you're going to have a great vantage point. Someone like Adam's going to shoot it. It's going to look amazing. So you can buy your ticket 30 minutes or day of before the show. And I think that's a learning curve. You've got, it's more of a U shape, and you've got to be aware of that kind of influx of people coming in and purchasing and going through that authorization step, which again, I don't think if you just got your venture funding, you've been doing this for 4 months, you're going to comprehend and know that. So, it kind of goes back to the old school basic ways. We had to get into this business early on. We had to deal with all kinds of bandwidth constraints and issues. And, this industry got a lot of attention for its failures. Way back when the Victoria's Secret show crashed, and that was like front page news. I think Oprah Winfrey did a big variety show. You might remember this, Eric, and that had all kinds of challenges. And we got a lot of attention for the failures of the industry and not the successes. So, from my perspective, it's really kind of understanding and predicting and understanding that you're going to have a big audience tune in or just a sizable audience. And how do you support that? And that's kind of going back to the days of pre-planning and infrastructure and, again, redundancy throughout your workflow.